Years ago, I saw a feminist astronomer on CNN, and she told the interviewer that the phrase Big Bang Theory was sexist and off-putting to young women. Well, today, gender activists with a similar mindset are having a fit because a noted astronomer appeared at a press conference wearing a mildly risque shirt. Well, what's going on? That's coming up next on The Factual Feminist. Now, Matt Taylor is a brilliant astrophysicist, and he was a key member of a team that managed to land a space probe on a comet that was moving about 100,000 miles per hour, 300 million miles away. But for many gender activists, it was the shirt that he wore at a press conference that riveted their attention. Now, the shirt was an eccentric fashion choice, but his elaborate tattoos are unusual as well. And professors and scientists are not known for their conventional sartorial choices. I think Dr. Taylor looks like a cool guy, but the gender activists were appalled, not because he was dressed informally, but because his shirt featured images of sexualized women. The Guardian writer Alice Bell marveled that scientists can land a robot on a comet, but they can't see misogyny under their nose. And Rose Evlith, a technology editor of The Atlantic, sent out several indignant tweets about the shirt, including one that said, "Thanks for ruining the cool comet landing for me, a**hole." The Verge carried an article that blamed the shirt for demeaning half of the world's population. This is madness. It is not Dr. Taylor who has created a hostile environment, it's these gender activists. I mean, Rose Evlith's tweets ignited a storm of social media abuse, and it came down on the hapless Dr. Taylor. He was mortified by the attacks. He gave a tearful apology. He renounced his own shirt, which had been a gift from a female friend. Now, it's hard to disagree with a defender of Dr. Taylor who described his detractors as joyless scolds. This critic also said that these detractors were far more judgmental and censorious than social conservatives like Rick Santorum. Now, Philip Plait is a popular science writer and author of Slate's Bad Astronomy blog. He has defended Taylor's feminist critics. And let's consider what he says. The shirt by itself, Plait explains, may not seem like a big deal, but he says it has to be seen in the overall context of a scientific community which he describes as being steeped in sexism. He believes that there is anger and bitterness because, according to him, women are routinely and systematically shortchanged, discriminated against, and held back in science. And he seems to think that by wearing a shirt that objectifies the female body, Taylor was exacerbating an already fraught situation. And he links to various articles that seem to support the idea that scientific culture is steeped in sexism. The problem is, he ignores serious and credible research that shows that there isn't a lot of sexism. There isn't what he refers to as a leaky pipeline. In 2009, the National Academy of Sciences published a major study that flatly contradicts his claim that the scientific community is steeped in sexism. To quote from the study, "At many critical transition points in their academic careers, hiring, tenure-track, tenure positions, and promotions, women appear to have fared as well or better than men." To give one typical finding in this study, in 2004 or 5, women accounted for about 20% of applicants for positions in mathematics, but they got 28% of the interviewed, and they were 32% of those who received job offers. Furthermore, once women attain jobs in math or science programs, their teaching loads and research resources were comparable to men's. The fact is, women are flourishing in fields like biology, medicine, psychology, veterinary medicine. But when it comes to math-based fields like engineering, computer technology, astrophysics, the pool of interested women is smaller. Now, how are we going to change that? Nobody knows for sure. But what worries me is that there is this little cottage industry of advocacy research in science, always showing that women are victims. And a lot of it is simply not credible. And I don't think science or women or anyone is going to be helped by this aggressive movement. Boris Johnson, the mayor of London, he wrote a great article in defense of Dr. Taylor, and he was appalled that the doctor was coerced into an apology. He compared it to a scene from Mao's Cultural Revolution when sobbing intellectuals were forced to confess their crimes against the people. Well, I think he's right. And his accusers, they've not only bullied an innocent man, they're damaging feminism. I mean, feminism is supposed to be about liberation and the pursuit of happiness, not prudery, authoritarianism, policing men, or panicking over sexuality. And instead of carrying on about a shirt, the feminist bloggers and science writers should have focused on some of the fantastic women on Taylor's team, like the Swiss scientist Katrin Allweg and the planetary scientist Monica Grady. Here's a picture of the brilliant Dr. Grady in a photo with Taylor. Now, she doesn't seem to be intimidated or ostracized by the shirt, and I bet she can handle the phrase Big Bang Theory. Well, what are your thoughts on Shirtgate? Do you agree that it has brought into focus, exposed some troubling tendencies in today's feminism? Well, please leave comments below, subscribe to the series, follow me on Twitter. Thank you for watching The Factual Feminist.